everyone. Welcome to Premium Law Access. Happy New Year. Today I'll be talking to you about visitor's visa. So a visitor's visa is really a non-immigrant visa, meaning that you're coming to the United States for a temporary visit. So the purpose of the visit is always very important because since it's temporary, it could either be for a business purpose or for a tourist purpose. So based on your reason, you will now fall into the B classification. That's whether it's going to be a B1, which is for a business purpose, or a B2 for a tourist purpose. Now, before I get any further, before you apply for a visa, you would want to figure out if your country, that's your country of origin, belongs to the visa waiver program. So what is the visa waiver program? It is there are about 39 countries that belong to this program. And what it is that people from these countries do not need to apply for a visa to the United States for the business and tourism purposes. If you're coming in for a visit, you really do not need a visa. So you just need to apply for the ESTA, and that ESTA means the Electronic System for Travel Authorization. So with that, you're able to come into the country for about 90 days, and you can come in as many times as possible. However, you're not supposed to change your status or extend your status during one of those visits. So this is if you are coming in on a visa waiver program. So if you look at it and your country belongs to one of them and you belong to one of those countries and you plan to come to the United States just for a brief visit, then you can use the visa waiver program. That's the ESTA. However, if your country is not among those 39 countries that belong to the visa waiver program, then you need to apply for a visa. So the visa is a B1 or a B2 visa. So if your purpose of visit is for business, and business could be if you're coming here to sign a contract, to meet with your business associate, to attend a convention or an exhibition, it's something that is business related, then you really need to be applying for a business visa. However, if you are coming in just for pleasure, you're coming here to visit family, friends, relatives, or you're coming in just to do your shopping or maybe to attend an event, either graduation or your child's wedding, or you're coming in for medical reasons. All these would come under the tourist visa. You need to apply for a tourist visa. So when you go to the embassy and apply for the visa, you will see that in your visa, once it's issued, you'll be given a B1, B2. So that means you're allowed to come in for a B1 or a B2 purpose. So on that visa page, you're also going to see a designation, either an M or an S or S, M or S. M means for multiple entry and S means for single entry. So you'd have to figure out what the purpose of the visit is and what is stamped on your visa page. So the duration of stay and duration of status are two distinct things you should be aware of. Duration of the visa is the M or S. So example, if you're granted and if you see an M stamp there, it means they can give you you can be issued a visa for maybe 5 years, 10 years. So what that means is that you can come in and go out of the United States as often as you can within those 10 years. So your visa is up to 10 years. So it means that you really don't have to go back to the embassy until that 10-year elapses. Same thing for if it is an S that you see there, it means that it's for a single entry and you always have to take note of that date. If it's for 1 year or for one entry, make sure that you're complying with those dates and you don't violate that. So having said that, you're now going to see that the consulate in your country or wherever you'll be applying from, that's the embassy, has the sole authority for issuing these visas. And the visa, before the visa is issued, you have to convince the consular officer that you're indeed coming in for the purpose you've stated in your application. So when you're completing that application, please complete that carefully and most importantly, truthfully. Because if you disclose, if you lie on your application, they will find out and that will have very severe consequences. So in the United States, they encourage tourism. This is a tourist destination. There's so many attractions, but you have to play by the rule. That's what it is. Now, it is a discretionary visa. It is a temporary visa. It is also, there isn't a quota for the visa. So anybody can apply year in, year out, you can apply. There's always going to be visas available. But the only issue is you have to qualify for those visas. That's really what you should worry about. So there are three things I want you to take note of when it comes to the visitor's visa. One is the purpose of the visa. Two is the length of stay, that's the duration of the visa. And then three will be your ability to pay for your stay if granted the visa. So I want you to take note of all these 3 points, because if you don't, it might cost you when you get into issues about should I stay or should I not stay. However, even though you've said you're coming in for a specific purpose, sometimes plans change. And when those plans change, you'll be allowed to either change your status or extend your status. However, for any of those things, any of those choices you have to make, you need to do that before your visa status expires. So now, who can apply for the visitor's visa? So anyone can apply for a visitor's visa, so long as you qualify. So, but if you have been subjected to a permanent ban, a 3-year ban, or a 10-year ban, you cannot apply for that visa. Okay. So who can apply for a visitor's visa? So I think basically anybody can apply, so long as you're not subjected to the permanent bar, a 3-year bar or 10-year bar, or you don't have any restrictions, or you haven't committed any fraud in the past or have criminal acts. So technically anyone can apply for a visa, and you can apply from anywhere, preferably from your home country, because that's where you can establish ties to your home country, but you can apply from anywhere. So who can apply for a tourist visa? So who can apply for a tourist visa? I have actually answered that, but how do you apply for a tourist visa? So in order to apply for a tourist visa, you need to have a passport, and a valid passport for that matter. So with that passport, you can now go online. It's called the CEAC website. It's the Department of State website where you can apply for the visa. It's usually an online application, and it's the DS-160. So fill out that form completely, truthfully, and accurately. So when you have submitted that form, you have to pay the application fees, depending on your embassy. For most embassies, it's usually $160. Then after doing that, you will now be scheduled for an interview, and you'll have to attend the interview. However, if you're between the ages of 14 and 79, you should expect to attend an interview. But if you're under 14 or over 79, the interview may be waiting for you. So this brings me to the next question. What kind of restrictions do we expect? Now, because of the COVID scenario we had last year and which is still ongoing. Some countries are actually restricted from applying for this kind of visas or from entering the United States. And those countries are countries like China, Iran, United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland, and Brazil. So for these countries, they cannot apply. They are not at this time allowed to apply for a visitor's visa unless some exemptions apply. So having said that, this brings me to the end of this segment, and I hope to see you in the next segment to also describe the process of the visitor's visa. Thank you for tuning in.